So brilliant. If you're attending the meeting just yet, please make sure that you're on mute. If you're not talking to me directly, as and when you need to talk, just unmute yourself. It'd be great to have as much interaction as possible. So Friday morning, it's been an interesting week, probably quite a stressful week for everybody. But let's keep going. Your engagement and your knowledge levels that have come out from you guys so far has been amazing. We're really, really happy with the way that you guys have been attending and also contributing to these sessions. So thank you for that. But just to give us that one last push for today, before we can have a couple of days rest before we go again, I just want to share a short video with you, because as I said on Monday, I watch one of these a day to get me going.
Those days that you don't want to do anything, where you're too tired, too sore, you just don't feel like it, those days, those are the days that count. When you have those feelings, it's even more important to step up and get some. If you've got something to do, don't put it off till tomorrow. Don't do that. Don't voluntarily do anything tomorrow that you should be getting done today. Get it done today. Don't wait. Attack it, destroy it, and move on.
Stop waiting for something to move you and move yourself. You're your biggest problem. Everything is external that moves you. Now I want you to start moving yourself internally. I want you to be able to push your buttons and not let anything else push your buttons. You gotta move you. Every single day. If you get to a point in your day and you down and out, if you get to a point in your day and you exhausted, you get to a point in your day and you're not feeling it, you can stop right there and change the mood. Nobody control your mood. You control your mood. You control your feelings.
I don't care how small it is. I don't care how minuscule the movement is, but make movement. Move forward and do that every single day, no matter what, including today. You aren't getting any closer to your 5-year plan or your 3-year plan or your 7-year plan or any plan that you've got unless you get up and start getting after it today.
I woke up one day and stopped making excuses. I woke up one day and stopped playing the blame game. I woke up one day and looked at the man in the mirror and was like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Wake up, it's showtime, let's go, get up. Go to class, get up, do your homework, work on your gift. It was given to you, but you gotta hone it. And the reason why some of you are not where you're supposed to be, you've given yourself an option. You've given yourself an out. You've given yourself an excuse, but you have what it takes to do it. And the problem with some of you in this room, you don't have no drive. You ain't got nothing pushing you. You have no reason. You better find one before you get out of here today. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up and get to where you're supposed to be. You are a royal priesthood. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live.
Great. So hopefully something that just can lift our mood, lift our spirits ready for today. So we're going to move on my slide. And again, we're going to keep using Slido. You might have noticed it's a favorite of ours. But if you could go to www.slido.com, I'm just going to pop that in the group, for, the chat for you. So that's www.slido.com. And the code I've forgotten is TWP-TV. Really nice and easy for you to remember. Slido.com, TWP-TV. So we've got 57 participants in the group, so we should expect 57 responses in the group on the Slido call. So if you're not responding, I can catch you out. Just a word of warning. Somebody has got their microphone on. We've got a horrible rattling sound. Great. So everybody log yourself onto slido.com, hashtag TWP. So we said about this morning and how we're looking at knowing our customer needs, okay, and their wants and needs. So first question I just want to ask you is, what are the key expectations from all our customers? Oh, no, it's not at all. I thought that was wrong. The first question I want to ask you, sorry, is who are our customers? So the screen should be with you in a moment. Hopefully, if you've logged on to TWP-TV.com, we should now start to see some answers coming in. Brilliant. Pupil, school, parents, schools. Great, 5 answers. That means there's 48 people that haven't answered. Brilliant. 9 answers, 11 answers, getting closer.
George, I can't log into Slido. It won't let me on it.
Okay, cool. If you can't get onto it, pop it into a chat box. That'd be great.
Oh, okay. What was the question? Sorry.
So, who are our customers? Who are our customers? Who do we work with that we would consider to be a customer? Anyone that's joined a little bit late, if you could just sign in for us, that'd be amazing. Yeah, children's parents, schools, brilliant. Parents during camps, teachers. Great. Anybody else? Do we work with anybody else potentially? Maybe particularly in the holiday times, in camps, in clubs. Is there anyone else that we work with that we might consider a customer? Not just parents, or they might be considered more of a partner potentially at times. Sainsbury's, good. So Sainsbury's is a partner, but also we might actually treat them as a customer. We're trying to give them a service. They are a partner, but it might be someone. You might work with local leisure centres, for example, as well, that we're working with. Brilliant. So particularly for those of you that are on the apprenticeship programme, if you hear the word customer or client, you might think about, actually, I haven't got any clients, I haven't got any customers, but you do. Your customers are the children, are the students, are the teachers, are the schools, and everybody that we're kind of working with that are paying for our service, because people are paying us to be within our role, whether that's running an after school club or a curricular session or a holiday camp. We're being paid to do that by somebody. Okay, so it's really important that first things first, we know who our customers are, because it's surprising sometimes when we speak to particularly apprenticeship learners with this, because it's a key topic that fits in with that, but also for UAPs and operations managers, team leaders on the call, is actually that we need to be really aware of this as well. So it's great that you can start to identify them. Well done to nearly 50% of the call as well answering that question. So the next question is, what's the key expectations from all our customers? So what do our customers want from us? So we understand who our customers are now, but what do they want from us? So let's see if we can beat 24. There's a few people posting into a chat box as well, so we'll call that 28 because there's 4 of you in there, which is brilliant. Great, arriving on time with the correct paperwork. So just, can people go into a bit more detail with the correct paperwork for me? Be interesting to know what that is. Providing a service, good. High delivery, professionalism, knowledge, standards, quality activities, organisation, professional coming up in the chat box as well. Really good. Just going to wait for a few more to fit through. Deliver outstanding coaching, engaging sessions. Good. Quality, reliable. These are some brilliant words that are coming through. Role model. Displaying progress throughout the pupils. Brilliant answer. Whoever put that one. Yeah, DBS and other qualifications. Good. So actually, we've got an expectation to meet the standards of the industry. And actually, within Premier at times, we want to go on above and beyond that. And I think David Gould's session later today is going to support you in understanding that. So important that we log on. Professional standards in every session, definitely. This is a great answer here. Professional experience. They want us to come in and not just do our job, but make a difference within their school. Definitely. So actually, we're thinking here about how we want to almost go above and beyond and go that extra mile. Brilliant. Give it 5 seconds. Only 18 answers. Smile with a service. Service with a smile. Sorry, a smile with a service. Yeah, excellent. Brilliant. Really good answers. Really glad to have you thinking about actually what's expected of you when we're working with our customers. So I'm just going to flip back to my slide now. So time for some honesty, and post this in the chat box or feel free to speak up. It'd be great to get as many of you talking today as we possibly can. But have you read or have you asked about the SLA for your school? So I just want you to think of a school that you work in, and are you aware of what the SLA is? Or first of all, are you aware of actually what an SLA is? everybody can ignore my little typo on the screen as well. That'd be great. But anybody, brilliant. Oh, can we not see the screen, guys? Why is that? I'd love it if people told me that. That's right. Thanks for the heads up there. So hopefully my screen's back with you now. So the SLA, service level agreement. Okay. So the service level agreement is something that is in place. It's like a contract between yourselves in terms of Premier or in your local areas. So Premier Southwest, for example. It's the agreement that you've got with that individual school. Now, what do you think is going to be set out within that SLA? So what's the kind of things that's going to be within that contract between the school and between your business or your area? Anybody want to speak? That'd be amazing. No pressure to do so. But in the chat box, I'm just waiting to see anything come through. Everybody can hear and see the screen okay, yeah? Hopefully so.
SLAs, George, can often refer to areas of impact.
Okay, great. Thanks for that, Neil. Brilliant. For a minute there, I thought I was on my own. But yeah, so thinking about areas of impact is really important. So actually, what's our kind of responsibility? Where are we going to impact? Are we going in to potentially work with certain target groups? And we spoke about some of those in the barriers to participation session the other day. But are we working with certain groups of children, certain year groups? What are we looking to do? Are we trying to get them fitter, healthier, or actually are we trying to get the school to be maybe a little bit more competitive within their sports or physical activity within the school? Connor's put expectations of school and customers gone in there as well, which is brilliant. Connor's put in the chat the product we're delivering, the length of the agreement, and what's expected from both parties. Again, brilliant. So actually thinking about the length of time. So within my SLA, I start to identify that I'm in this school for the whole academic year. Can we start to plan ahead? We're also thinking about the actual topic that we've agreed potentially to deliver as well. So that might be a Premier Sports session, it might be a goal session, it might be some wellbeing activities or performing arts. So we actually need to know that. Now, how many of you understand what's in that agreement before you go into some of your schools? Now, be really honest, because I'll be honest, when I was an AP, and certainly when I first started, I didn't always know this. I'll be honest. It was only one day when somebody told me how important it was, I actually started to take a bit of an interest within that. So feel free to share that, but you know whether you have or whether you haven't. So for me, I think for us to be successful and for us to meet the terms and conditions and the expectations within that SLA, we need to know it first. It's almost like me having an electrician come to my house. I've signed a contract for him to say to do some work in my bathroom, but he comes down and he does it in my kitchen. It's no good. They've done some work. It might be brilliant work, but it's not what I've paid for. So we need to make sure that we're thinking about what are we there to do? What's our impact? And Neil mentioned around key areas of impact. Do we know what that key area of impact is? And are we actually planning our sessions or programs around what that key area of impact might be? So bit of a brainstorming exercise. Now, this bit is really, really important for you to get engaged. So we're a little bit quiet this morning. I know it's 9:45, but I'd love to see lots of answers in the group chat. Well done, those guys who've already done that. But I'd also like if you could just start to shout a couple of, well, don't shout, but call a couple of answers out for me. That'd be brilliant. So before you plan a session or a program, what key information do we need to know?
What year group?
Perfect. I didn't see who that was, but great answer. Yeah, the year groups are actually understanding the children that I'm working with, what the age is. For example, if they're a Key Stage 1 group and I'm planning some high-level Key Stage 2 type activities, it's not going to be the most impactful or high-quality program.
My Slido's not working.
Pardon, say that again?
My Slido's not working. I can't seem to get the questions.
Okay, it's fine. This is just on the screen, so just calling out on this one or typing into the chat box for me.
In the chat, George, we've had a few people say about the age. Ryan's mentioned medical conditions. John's put ability levels. Kitty, ability levels.
Right. So see there, we've got talking about space. Actually, do we understand what space? How many times as an AP, and I've done it, Neil, and I'm sure you can back me up on this, have we potentially popped into a school, think we're going to deliver, I don't know, a tag rugby session on a big, beautiful field, and we get there, and actually the space we've got is 10 times smaller than what we are planning for, or the group was bigger or smaller than we thought for. And it makes your life really, really difficult. Also, we've got risk within there. Ellie, brilliant. What equipment they've got and what you potentially need to provide. So turning up to the school delivering a fencing session without any fencing stuff is probably going to be quite problematic. It's actually going to go against the SLA because you're not going to be able to fulfill that agreement of delivering a fencing session. Good. Brilliant. So there's lots of stuff we need to know. So for me, some really key ones have been said in there. You need to know the group's specific information. So who are you working with and what's their information? So their age, their ability, their medical needs. If they've got SAN, which Keely's just mentioned. So for those of you that don't know, SAN, special educational needs. Also the space you're working in. But also we need to think about, again, the impact is something we haven't thought about. What's our goal? What's our why for being there? What are we trying to achieve? So for example, a really key example with this is somebody mentioned Sainsbury's earlier, which is brilliant that you're aware and you're probably working towards those projects that we're running across the country. But Sainsbury's is looking to increase the level of activity that children have during the summer period. There was a report released a couple of years ago which showed that children lost 80% of their fitness during the summer holidays, 6 weeks. What were they doing throughout that 6 weeks? So what do you think the children would do in the summer? Why were they losing such big fitness levels?
Playing on computer games.
Yeah, exactly right. They're playing computer games, sat on the iPad, sat in front of screens. Exactly right. So Sainsbury's launched this initiative, which breaks down many barriers. Understanding their customer, the children, is that it's sports revision can often be very expensive. A lot of children have free school dinners, which is currently an issue with some of the schools closing, is actually how can we support those children that normally receive free school dinners. So actually what Sainsbury's has done is delivered and created a program that fits the customer needs by making it really affordable, first and foremost for the parent, but also by being able to provide the parents, or the child, sorry, is some food during those sessions. So for any of you that worked on Sainsbury's last year, all the children get, like a packed lunch, it'd be delivered by Sainsbury's on a daily basis, which is just an amazing program. So it understands customer needs. And actually last year, I believe I'm right in saying it was something like a 98% occupancy on all the courses. And what I mean by that is that the courses were 98% full up and down the country, which is amazing. So they clearly understood the customer needs and their wants because they've achieved a really high goal within that. Okay. So understanding what your customer goals are and actually planning and implementing your session around that is going to be really, really vital to the performance and the impact of that program or session. So it's really vital that we know that. And hopefully a few of you are sat there now thinking, actually, do you know what? I delivered at St. Joseph's Primary School down the road the other day. I turned up, I delivered it, actually what was probably a really good session, don't get me wrong, on whatever the topic was, but actually has that fit back? Does that fit back into the customer needs and what the agreement is and actually why we're there? What's our purpose around being there? So first and foremost, how do we know our customer needs and wants? So we've discussed one way potentially, but how do we know what our customers need and what they want?
Talking to them.
But brilliant. Yeah, someone spoke that aloud. Talking to them. Someone just commented, speaking, communicate. Brilliant. Communicate with the school. Who might you communicate with? Who's going to tell you this information?
PE coordinator.
Excellent. PE coordinator. Who else?
Head teacher. Office. Maybe.
Good. Head teacher, office staff. What about within your business? Who might know?
Team leader.
Team leader, operations manager, franchisee, business development manager, the person that sold that contract and potentially created that SLA. But ultimately, prior to that, we might need to think about actually getting some information from the school before we make a program. So yes, communicate is vital, but also surveys are really, really important. And actually, we might think about ways that we can do this. particularly with customers like schools, but parents, we don't have direct contact with parents a lot of the time. So being able to send a survey or a form or a questionnaire to parents can be really vital. So if we take holiday clubs, for example, how do we decide what facilities we use or what sessions and activities we run at holiday camps at the minute? Do we just kind of pick based on what equipment we've got and what we like to deliver? So what I'm trying to get at here is it's really important that we have a rationale. So what I mean by that is a reason behind the programs and the sessions that we run. So actually, should I survey the parents or the children or the schools to find out what they want? Do they want football? Probably some of them, yeah, probably really do want a specific football camp, actually. But a lot of children that are potentially disengaged don't want it. They want fun. They want games. They don't necessarily want direct sport sometimes. So it's really important we know that, because the more we plan to the needs of our customers, the more successful our camps will be. Now, anybody that sat there, for example, that during February half term delivered on a camp with 5 or 6 children, really low numbers. Okay, there can be many, many reasons for that. It might be the area, you might be quite rural, for example. But actually, I just want you to think about, if you were to have surveyed the parents and the children prior to that course, before your planning, do you think that might have impacted the numbers if we put on sessions that were more tailored to our customers' need? So it might be something interesting to think about and take back to your business. So when we're questioning customers and we're trying to find out information, what types of questions do you think we'll use? So what actual type of questions, not the actual question itself, but what types of questions do we often talk about?
Favourite sports?
Yeah, good. So we're thinking there about the type of question. So brilliant. You might think about, yeah, what is your favourite sports? But there's 2 types of questions that we can answer. If you think about your delivery. So I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Are you okay? Versus how do you feel today? What's the difference between those 2 questions?
It's more in depth on the day.
Yeah, so it's more in depth. We're going to get more info, and that's open and closed. Keely, brilliant. Well done for posting within that. So an open question is when we're going to get an answer which is more than yes or no, or don't know. It's going to give us a bit more information, like you've just alluded to there. And a closed question is going to be really simple. Did you enjoy it? Yes, no, for example. So think about the types of questions that we're going to use when we're speaking to customers. So what's the good thing about an open question? Kind of alluded to it, but what's good about open questions? Think about when you coach as well. Why do you offer an open question as opposed to a closed question? Kitty, yeah, brilliant. It allows detail. It gives more opinions. It's not a yes or no answer, and it opens discussion. Brilliant, Laura. Great answer there. So it gives you something to talk about, and you really get some information, and you're going to start to understand who that customer is. So rather than being a customer, that is now Mrs. Smith, little Jimmy's mum, that I understand, and I understand that she wants X, Y, and Z from our holiday camps or our after school provision. I understand that little Jimmy doesn't like football, he doesn't like competition, but he likes playing games with his friends. So that's going to give me lots of good information to think about the way I plan my session. Also, 2 more types that we haven't really spoken about is qualitative and quantitative. So what do you think we mean by qualitative and quantitative? What's the difference between those 2? So for those of you on the apprenticeship, this is really important for some of your Unit 2 work. So this is really going to support you. For APs, hopefully this is just giving you a bit of an idea how you could take this away. Brilliant, Kitty, again, well done. Fantastic from yourself. Numbers and words. So qualitative is around, I would think the quality of the answer or the question that you're going to receive is going to be kind of script based, John, exactly right, based on words. And quantitative is all about numbers. So qualitative is great because it gives us lots of information, but it's also very hard to measure. Okay, so quantitative comes into its own. On the other side is that we don't get masses of information, but it really gives us some really good numbers that we can track and we can score and we can measure through that. So both types of questions here, open, closed, qualitative and quantitative, have their own place and are equally as important to each other. It very much depends on the question that you're asking. So again, who's our target for these questions and surveys potentially at times that we might use? Who's our target? Who are we going to be asking questions to? Am I going to ask questions to my colleague, my AP? No, brilliant. Josh, well done. Savvy, Keely, Ellie, Kitty, Laura, John, parents, children, school, head teachers. Brilliant. Excellent. Really good. Great answers. Great, but we can understand some of these. When should we do this, do you think, is my next question. So when do you think we should do this? When should we ask customers questions? George H., the receptionist, yeah, definitely a really important member of school staff that we can get lots of information for. They know everything that's going on. Morgan, start of every term, brilliant. Really good answer. Why might you do it at the start of every term? John,
after sessions.
Oh, yeah, sorry, say that again.
After sessions.
Definitely after session, you might be able to find out, actually, did you enjoy that session? Is there anything you can tell me but you want me to change for next week? John's also put a great answer in the group chat. I'm just trying to find where it's gone. I've lost it. Before, during, and after. Boom, hit the nail right on the head. So brilliant, John. Well done. Think about actually, first of all, why is it important to know before? If I know information before I plan and deliver a program, what's that going to allow me to do? Brilliant, Sammy. I can plan ahead because of that. During the program, it's going to allow me to reflect and actually see, do I need to make any changes now? Is it working now, today? What can I change immediately? And I can adapt my plans, Kitty. Brilliant. And after is actually thinking about forward. I'm going to run this. So my SLA has already told me, but I'm in school for 18 weeks. I've just delivered 6 weeks. Right, we've had really good numbers. How can I sustain this? Or how can I grow this? I need to find out what they liked and what they didn't like, so I can potentially make it 1% better each time. If you make it 1% better every time, you're going to be on to a winner. Excellent. So, do you currently do this? Is anybody in this chat, just give me a thumbs up, thumbs down? I'm not sure, but are any of you, as in potentially directly you as an AP, have you surveyed anybody or asked these questions or read your SLAs? Or do you know that your business does it, but maybe you don't do it directly?
Have you surveyed anyone? No, because you told me not to. Have you surveyed?
So yeah, just start to think about that on your own. It's just waiting for a bit of interaction there, but just think about it on your own. Actually, is it something that you're thinking now when you go back to school? Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to use this because it's going to give me some really vital information. And if it means that I can grow my club numbers potentially by 5 people, then that's a winner, because I've just created that 5 extra people's worth of spend. Guys, just make sure you're on mute, please, if you're not responding to my questions. I'm just trying to keep up with the chat box. I've just lost it, so bear with me. I do apologise. Great, Harry. So you said you're not sure if you currently use them or if your business potentially use it, but it's certainly something you're going to consider. Great. Yeah, Matty's talked about what stuff you've learned today. Brilliant. And ask questions to your children. So brilliant. So I want you to think about how you can potentially do it. We've already spoke about how, when, and why. So it might be surveys. It might just be some questions. But actually, it's giving you that information to plan. And the impact I kind of alluded to then, is it going to allow us to grow the numbers that we work with, or is it going to help us to support the reason why we were there? So again, going back to the SLA. So Neil helped us out earlier by telling us that the SLA would look to what a certain area of impact was. So if I was looking to increase fitness levels, for example, within Key Stage 1 children, have I done that? Can I measure that? Do the children feel fitter? Can they run longer using things like golden miles? We're tracking data and understanding what the needs are within that. Great. Josh has talked about Q&A as well at the end of every session. Brilliant. So you're really starting to think. And I just want to leave you really with this kind of quote. So if you don't know who your customer is, then you don't know what quality is. And I think that's really, really important. And Neil, again, who's sat in the call, will agree, and David, if you're there as well, that as part of the CQI team that goes around regionally, this is a really big thing that I think we can start to identify. Those APs that we see that really understand who their school is and who their customer is, are delivering quality sessions, and you've all got the knowledge and the skills to do this. And sometimes what we maybe lack a little bit, and there's always areas for improvement, everything, is actually understanding what our reason, what's our why are we there, who's our customer, what can we do to help them.